Hello and welcome to another in the Ask the Data Governance Coach video series. And this week I'm going to ask a question that I get asked quite a lot, and I've been trying to get my head around how to explain it simply. But the question is, what are taxonomies? Now, when you're first getting into data governance, we really have to get our head around lots of new terminology and some very techie data jargony things. And taxonomies is one of these. And one thing I would say is I tell most people not to worry about them too much, particularly in the early days. But as things go on, you are going to want to think about them. So it is important that we consider what they are. And I think they sound far scarier than they really are. All a taxonomy is a hierarchy, and we use that hierarchy for classifying things. So the classic one we would all know is perhaps the library system. If we go to a library or even a bookshop, to be fair, we know where to go and find the fiction books or the health and fitness books or, the foreign travel books. We know that they're classified and stored in different sections. And that is what a taxonomy is, but it's a way of classifying and doing a hierarchy of our data. And you can think about applying it to all sorts of things outside of data that will help you get your head around it more. So like the animal kingdom, we have mammals, we have reptiles, we have birds, we have insects, and even within them, they are classified more. So we have a hierarchy that spreads out. Or, if we go into, really great detail, we can go into, we have dogs. And just as I hit record for this video, I noticed that one of my dogs had sneaked in and made herself rather comfortable on the sofa. And if you think about dogs, we know there are many breeds. And as you start going down that, we've got dogs, we've got breeds, that's your taxonomy. Now, if you're a data governance person, you'll probably be worrying about doing a data glossary or a data catalog. And you may be listening to me thinking about that, saying, well, how do they fit together? Well, really, the taxonomy is the hierarchy, and your catalog is how you put your definitions against it. So we could say that's a little brown dog. In fact, she's actually a border terrier. And then our definition would be a description of what makes a breed a border terrier. Now, when we apply that to data, it perhaps can get overly complicated, and some people will want to debate for hours the theory of what a taxonomy should be. Now, if this is not your first video that you've heard me answer a question, you probably know that I'm going to say, don't get too het up. Let's only document and agree and approve taxonomies where there's a need to. So there might be perhaps a need to agree how countries fit into regions for your organization, for their sales forecast or something. That's a very small taxonomy. But within that taxonomy, we have to define what we mean by everything. That's our data definitions. So from my point of view and my recommendation to keep everything as simple as possible, I would try and store my taxonomy as part of my data catalog, because as you've probably heard me say before, I really want the data catalog to be everything we know about data in our organization. And if the taxonomy is a way of agreeing and documenting the hierarchy of how we think about and maybe even how we hold our data, then it makes sense to hold it there as well. So I hope that has been useful, and I hope you would join me and possibly Meg in a future Ask the Data Governance Coach video. If you have found it useful, please help me in my mission to help as many people as possible be successful at data governance by liking, commenting, subscribing. And if you've got a question you would like me to answer on a future video, just send it in to questions@nicolaascombe.com.